All right, there's been an update. I'm just going to turn off my fan because it's actually not that hot right now to do recording. So, version 1.62.1 of Mysterious Castle is now up on the App Store and Google Play. The web-based version is still version 1.6.1 or 61, as he basically encountered a critical bug needs fixing. This version is a bug fix and balance update. Many bugs have been fixed, and the endgame has been changed to be more challenging. Not really sure what to say about changing the endgame. By the way, if that's basically in corresponds to me being the game with the epic characters, I will note I was actually playing with epic characters, so there is that. But whatever. All right, so the changes include angel enemies and the epic characters are now more powerful, as is demon enemies. More enemies are generated in very high level dungeons. Increase the size of the Necromancer's party by 50%. Rebalance banish spell, so it basically costs more, has the lower chance to banish enemies, and deals more damage to enemies that resist banishment. He's added a bow range for the bow, when you can't shoot them because they're too far away. You now have epic racial modifiers to actually view, when you actually look at them in the help screen. Tapping on an item now gives you a help mode to basically bring up the info for it. And then they fixed a bunch of bugs. Mostly ones I have found basically, but whatever. So yeah, I basically get special thanks because I actually help with a lot of the bug finding. So there's that. All right, so to sort of start off with this this video right here, I'm just gonna jump in here, and I will note that basically for the purpose of this video, I am very much doing it for quality and assurance purposes. And that means finding bugs. And there is a bug I think I basically found right here in New Game. Now, I'll note basically if you press this question mark, and say you go to look at someone say the elf. If you press cancel, oh, that was fixed. So it used to be you could press cancel here and oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, basically if you press the help screen button and well, you see what the things right there. The elf is basically still very much its description's right there. And let's press continue because why not? And it's still up basically, even though there's still elf basically in his party here I was testing. All right, so that's just a quick little bug fix to show you guys that or to the developer rather. Basically, if you press the help screen button and turn it off when you basically press the cancel button, it spits you out but doesn't close the message. So yeah, I know I'm a person who likes to basically fast track things, right? All right, so if I go to epic character here, by the way, you can now look at these guys and see their stats and all this stuff. So here's the vampire. He's basically got 4 strength, 2 dexterity, 4 constitution, 2 intelligence. So a little bit on the tanky side, but he does have access to a little bit of spot and sneak and dark vision. So you could make him into your scout. He's got an extra movement, damage resist, energy resist, and he's got regeneration. He also starts with a magic ring. He can't cast light spells, heal spells, or read fruit. Now, I will note that the life spells, I feel that could probably be better explained. Basically, I guess he can't cast flash, but what else is a light spell's a thing, right? So something to keep in mind there. Okay, here's the demon, by the way. He's very generic, but he gets 8 dark vision as well, but he has much higher strength and constitution, and he has a little bit of damage resist, energy resist, and fire resist. And then there's the angel. This guy gets plus 5 stats for everything, lots of damage and energy resist, immune to trip, immune to warp. He can't eat fruit, can't sneak, and he's got negative spell retention. So there's those things about him. And let's just see if we can do this again. Boop! And there's the angel's help screen base right there. And yeah, if I press the question mark here to go in and stuff, it's still doing stuff, whatever. And yeah, if you press like, you know, the cancel button, it's still there. It's a thing. All right, so you can close it by the way, so let's do that right now. And I'm just gonna basically go to new world here, and we'll generate our new world. All right, so the things I'll be like basically checking for is like, you know, just to like, you know, sneak peek into the game. I'm just gonna have a look at those like, you know, item descriptions for the most part because like, you know, that's the main thing that got changed. I'm probably not gonna make it down to like, you know, the Nick answer again. I'll note the developer probably like, you know, never expected someone to basically clear everything in the game like they basically did, but you know, I also had epic characters, so I was able to basically do it for that reason. But whatever. Now I will note that I actually has some ideas for like, you know, characters to build, so I'll be going over that in like a little bit, but let's make the world here first. And we'll go from there, basically. Always fun making a new world, you know, but, you know, whatever. Alright, so saving NPCs, the world. Saver and maker. Entities, done. Okay, there we go. Alright, so for this, like, you know, playthrough, by the way, and, you know, I don't know why, but I remember, like, you know, there being, like, a highlight, like, a border around these guys that sort of, like, says, like, you know, which guys are fighters, which guys are rogues, which guys are, you know, mages and stuff like that, but, you know, it's not here now, unfortunately, but whatever. I'll probably keep this on normal. Alright, so before we begin, I want to note that basically I've been like working on like, you know, what type of team I'm basically going to like, basically play with next. And basically like, you know, going through it, I was basically looking up like, you know, builds basically I could like, you know, use for these guys and thinking, how can I make like say human or dwarf or like, you know, kobold or, you know, halflings and half elves, wolves, orcs, and like, you know, what are the different like builds I could basically like, you know, make for all these like, you know, perspective like, you know, characters that I've seen in the game. And you know that basically have like say human twice here because I basically have like a human here of like, you know, high strength, so I basically can use like, you know, physical melee attacks, but he's also got high intelligence, so basically can cast spells. Another one basically has high dexterity, so basically he's like a, you know, a bow user. But I probably consider this like, you know, this one right here to be kind of weak just for a simple reason that you know, at this point you might just make yourself like, you know, a half elf like I have over here because, you know, why not? Got like the elf, the gnome, dwarves, troll, minotaur, half-ogre, human, wolf. Now, looking at all these like, you know, characters I basically have here, you know what they basically have like broken down to like, you know, 4 sort of groupings. One's like, you know, these guys train dexterity, these guys train like, you know, constitution. We have like, you know, intelligence, and we have like, you know, oh, this guy's train intelligence. Yeah, I thought about like, you know, is it possible to make yourselves like an orc mage? And, you know, this is actually something I like to throw at the developer, by the way. I really feel you need to sort of clarify, like, what Stoic does, or what, like, Rage does, or, like, you know, Riposte does. Like, does, like, the Orc Rage, if you basically, like, you know, get damage bonus from it, does that basically increase his, like, damage to spells, perhaps? Or does it, like, only affect, like, his, like, melee attacks and stuff like that? Because it would be really cool if, like, you know, a Raging Orc Mage could basically, like, you know, blast, like, your guys with, like, huge spells and stuff like that. Okay, so basically, yeah, these guys basically like are broken down to like their different stats, and the idea basically for it, I'm just actually turn this over here to this here for you guys, and I don't need this right now, so let's just go like this for a moment. There. All right, so the idea basically for like, you know, breaking them down as I basically have them right here. Into like these like different sort of like, you know, groupings with like, you know, different stats. All these characters are basically broken down into like, you know, sort of like a roguish character, a damage dealer, the mage type characters that could be, and then like, you know, the full on tanks. And you notice that basically like, you know, if you look at like the stats for these guys, like, you know, these guys here, the tanks, they also have like, you know, 75 HP or more. You have like the mages, they basically all have like, you know, high intelligence stats because, need it for casting spells. The damage dealers basically they focus more on like, their constitution, but they still have like high strength values to like, hit stuff. Not so much the Lynx and the Null, they're basically a little bit more, I'm a little bit more worried about the Lynx and Null because they have like low HPs there of like, 57 because, this is a roguelite game and that's not very forgiving if you basically get hit by a whole lot of damage. So yeah, they have a higher dexterity as a result to sort of like, balance that out and hopefully keep them alive a little longer until I get like find some books basically to, prop them up. And then we have like, these guys over here, which are basically the rogues. And that includes a dwarf, by the way, over there. So I think that dwarf and rogues are actually like, a very viable character to basically play with. So, why not? Now, basically going through like, the different like, sort of like ideas here, I had some ideas basically like, what I'm going to do these like, sort of character profiles. Like, one thing that's basically like concerning is basically having like, say, like a dwarf, a gnoll, a lizardman, and a minotaur. Originally, I planned to have like a dwarf lynx, lizardman, and minotaur, but I decided that like, I want basically try and show off all the like character races again at some point, so I thought the gnoll might be a little bit better of like this pairing, so dwarf, gnoll, lizardman, and minotaur. The key things about this like, grouping here is that like, the dwarf basically has a highest pick lock of all the characters I basically sort of noted in like, episode 0. But the gnoll basically is like capable of like, a lot of like tactical things like spin attack that like, dwarf is really bad at, as well as minotaur. He's also really good at tripping. And he's also like, a very good defensive fighter as opposed to like, because of like riposte and stuff like that. He also has like, a little bit of picklock, sneak, and dark vision, but that's not really what the gnoll's basically used for. We have also the lizardman there. This guy's basically going to be like my spellcaster. I really don't think much of the lizardman because he's basically a little bit too slow, but I'll at least show him off. So yeah, there's like his stats right there. Very like low pickaxe and sneak, but I have good like dark vision. Maybe see like use him for like scouting, I guess, if I need to. The minotaur is basically minotaur. Big, clunky, stable, sucks at flurry, sucks at spin attack. And yeah, basically it is like I have all these like different types of like character like sets basically I might want to check on. So I have like the dwarf, gnoll, lizardman, minotaur. I moved the links over here to like half elf, lynx, elder, and half ogre. And the idea of like this like building like brand here would be like the lynx basically flurries stuff and like doesn't use a bow, but the half elf does use a bow and he's basically like got a shield basically to protect himself if he needs to. And the half ogre is just a half ogre just goes kunk kunk, smack smack. Elder cast spells, can use a bow if he needs to. Then we got like the halfling, orc, gnome, and human. Fairly generic, but like halfling basically uses the bow. Probably like might use like flurry as well if he uses double daggers, but again it's a halfling, so he can't really double wield. Orc basically is rages, and I probably buff up his constitution, makes him make him better for that. Do I have to buff up the gnome first because gnomes have less HP, result of like being gnomes. And just to sort of have it, I got like a human right there because I want to show off the humans that they can tank if you need to. And I'll note the characters that basically have at least like valid to me as like the kobold, the wolf, the elf, the troll. I've already played the troll already, so I don't feel the need basically to like play him again. And I don't think much of the elf because low HP and not a whole lot basically give you in like advantage to that. The wolf is just it's cool. I'll make it even cooler, make it cast spells if I basically play this build here and like kobolds or pick locks because why not? All right, now I'll note that because like the developer basically like updated the game. He's not actually updated trips yet or like the charge skill or anything like that. So I kind of feel like this like probably here with the dwarf, gnoll, lizardman, and minotaur. I'll probably hold off on them just for a little bit. So we're just gonna go over here to the half elf, lynx, elder, and half ogre here. So there's the stats that these guys want to basically like make for these guys here. We'll just basically jump into the game and it's like I'll go from there. So let's get to it. So now this is something to sort of note, by the way, for those who haven't seen like episode 0. You can actually edit these guys to actually have like different sort of like stat spreads, and like you can go in here to edit button, like enable edit mode, where you can delete and create characters and reset all characters to their default stats. Now I'll note, by the way, that something to note is that in the applications for like the HIO, I think, and stuff like that, you can actually do like the deletion, like creation of like characters if you want to. Here it's not really the case. If I press like edit here, it says like it's changed. You don't actually like delete the characters. You just change them. Anyhow, we're just going to change these guys. So we'll go into the half elf. So this guy's basically said I want to basically have like 13 strength. He'll keep the 20 dexterity, and I'm going to bump up his like constitution to like 18. Now it's worth doing that. Basically, a lot of the reasons I'm basically going to change these guys around is to buff up that constitution stat. The more constitution like my guys basically have, the more XP they have to sort of like ward off like dying. Because I noticed that basically when I was like initially playing about the epic characters, one of the ways I basically lost my characters if they got like isolated and like melted down by like a whole bunch of like enemies all at once. So obviously like sort of buff them up so you can't like die like that. Even with the epic characters, you saw like with the vampire against like the ancient vampire like little battle there. Basically like the vampire, the werewolf, the lich, they like this massive like hurt the vampire, but when he basically got back up, he's okay. So yeah. Okay, so there's the half elf. The next character we're going to have is the lynx. Now, basically, sort of throw this out here. The thing about the lynx is that they have very bad pick locks. So the reason I'm pairing him with like another rogue type of character is just so that, like the other guy can do like pick locking. And I was going to basically pair the guy with the dwarf just because like the dwarf basically has like really, really good like pick locking. But I decided against it just for the simple reason that you probably don't need to have that much pick lock, to be honest. So I mean it's helpful, but you probably don't need it that badly. So I'm just gonna like just use like a normal like kobold or half elf. So that's what we're going with. Anyways, this guy's like a damage dealer because like he's got high flurry. So how do I want to train this guy? Is basically like be a fighter that can like his flurry guys for a lot of damage. So we'll go to edit for him. Now these guys basically start with 14 HP, which is like very low for any type of character. So I basically want to like immediately bring up the their dexterity for this guy to like 16, and I also want to basically like maybe up this guy's strength a little bit. I mean, it's important that this guy's able to like stealth and like do that stuff, I guess. But because I'm training this guy more like a fighter, I just want him to be able to like damage stuff really. So yeah, up his like strength a little bit to like inflict more damage. I'm not sure dexterity basically helps with flurry, but that's actually something I basically note, by the way. You can go in here, press like the question mark. There's not a whole lot of like help basically like telling you what this basically does for you. So strength determines how well you fight in hand-to-hand combat. So I assume that this basically ups our like attack with like attacking like with melee attacks. But does it basically up your damage? Does it like up your bow damage or stuff like that? I feel like more description we give here. Is there like finesse weapons in this game? There's dexterity, by the way. So dexterity determines your ability to avoid being hit, how accurately you can shoot a bow, and how quietly you can move around. So your sneaking, your attack with bow, and also does some also like helps with like your pick lock and like avoidance, because basically up your armor. Now I have actually like to a developer that like I really don't like the fact that dexterity it impacts your like your pick lock. I really think it should be separate, but whatever, it is what it is. So not gonna go into that right here. Constitution determines your hit points and how well you can see in the dark. So dark vision and like your health. Int determines how many spells you can cast, or what spells you can cast and how powerful they are. So more int, more spell casting, as well as like more star spells in the beginning. All right, so there's basically the lynx. So he's basically out of the way. The other characters I want to basically use are the Eldar. So we'll go to this guy right here. The Eldar basically I have him for like much higher like constitution than this. So we're just gonna knock this right down to 14. Knock down to 19. And there we go. 8, 14, 8, 14, 18, 19. So again, like buffs up his health, so it's basically able to like survive hits. So yeah, note these guys right here. They get like increased like intelligence, arcane, charm, spell retention. So a little bit opposite the angel in that sort of fact. I basically get like an extra spell at like in 18 or higher. And then we'll edit the half ogre. So not a whole lot, much for a half ogre here. Like he's basically set up as he needs to be, but just a little bit of extra armor. I can always find a strength scroll for him, so that's fine. So just a little bit of extra armor for him. All right, now when I basically go to the game of these guys, so half ogre, lynx, half elf, and elder, and Why not? We're just going with like a normal-ish to sort of like, you know, build here. So interworld. And a little bit of a long preamble there, making up my characters, but you know, we're gonna try and like, you know, do this to my best like ability, right? So show off my thoughts, basically like, you know, what's basically gonna come in the future for these videos if I show them. All right, so darkness blanks the forest, blah blah. I've already seen this, so skip. All right, night is falling. Your doom draws nigh. Let's see what we've got. So none of these guys can cast spells. They don't have like the necessary like intelligence. You need 14 intelligence, by the way, in order to get like a single spell. So if you have like 14, you basically get bolt, and if you have higher, you get like more and more spells, like for level 1. This guy's gonna have everything, so he's gonna have like, you know, bolt, flash, shield, and vision. Shield's not too bad, basically get. Basically, like, you know, you get, give your target basically some arcane, like, you know, temporary HP, so keeps him alive a little bit better. Let's see here. He's got bolt, flash, shield, and vision, so let's just prepare an extra bolt and shield. Yeah, nope, but we can only have like 6 spells at once, so that's the thing. Because this guy's an elder, and you can't actually like, you know... Oh, look at that. You can actually sort of organize the spells if you want. So if like I like, you know, go like this. And like that. Okay, so that's very neat. I didn't know about that. Alright, so this guy basically is an elder. He starts with a little free spell. In this case, he's got heal all, so instantly heals every friendly character in range, so very, very nice. Not bad to cast this, by the way, but we'll want to be very like careful casting because it's, you know, has a huge huge cost for mushrooms there. Alright, what equipment do I start off with these guys? So the half ogre started off with just a, you know, a bastard sword, so he's got basically benefits to high ground, power strike, spin attack, negative flurry. That's fine. He doesn't need anything special. The half elf basically starts off with a hand axe in both his hands, so I might give these to the links in a moment. He does start off a longbow, so that's something else. Oh, this guy started off a longbow apparently, so he doesn't actually have a melee weapon. He's got 2 scrolls of escape, that's nice to see, and he's also got like some armor. And then we've got the links over here with like, you know, chain armor. He's got like, you know, a light crossbow and a short sword. Not bad. We'll go like this. So now he's basically got like, you know, 2 weapons to flurry with. And just as sort of like, you know, just show off these guys, we're just going to unequip their like armors. So I'll note that basically like going like with these guys right here, the elder basically has like 6 HP. He has like, you know, 10 natural armor. He's got an attack of 2, so not very high because, you know, he's only got the like, you know, I have no idea where the +2 is coming from. He's got a negative like, you know, 1 modifier for strength. This guy's got like, you know, +2 initiative. He's got 2 arcana. A little bit to shoots rapid and snipe. Okay, that makes more sense. So don't bother with the attacks basically like directing like, you know, his bow here. So if I take this off, he's got like a -1 modifier to basic attack, but you know, because he basically has like that like, you know, bow there, he's able to use the bow. So at least he's got that going for him. That's probably why he doesn't have a melee weapon, by the way, because he, you know, he really can't. He'll be using like, you know, staves for most part, so that's what he's all about. When I put his armor on, it gets like up to 13 HP, or, you know, armor. But I will probably give this to the half ogre. The half ogre only starts with like, you know, 9 like, you know, armor there, so this guy has higher armor without any armor on, which is a thing. Anyways, this guy is like my like, you know, he's a tank. He's got 75 HP, so basically he's got like, you know, negative initiative, but you know, he makes up for it with like quite a bit of power attack and spin attack if he needs to, and high ground. Because you know, This thing right here. And then here's like the the links. This guy's got the highest armor, and I like that because this for the simple reason that this guy can't really take hits. He's only got 57 HP, but with a flurry of 6, he's going to do some massive damage maybe if he hits you in the face. So hooray for that. A little bit of snipe there, by the way. So that's just from this being +2 to snipe. It does have +1 to precise shot. I'm not sure what precise shot basically represents. Maybe it's shoot, but whatever. -2 to rapid shot, so he's not very good at that, but whatever, it's fine. Negative to blocking because he's a lynx. Alright, so these guys are ready to go. Now the main thing I want to throw out for this one. So I can basically click on this to get some info. So there's the info on the longbow. It's not really anything special right now because he just want to basically put the info in, right? To sort of show what it does. So +3 armor, no special aptitude. There's the longbow. Hand axe. So yeah, so there's a partial action to basically unequip your items. Free action to drop your equipment. Free action to move it to another slot for our party apparently. And move action, place it in for an equipment on a nearby tile apparently. Interesting. There's a chain shirt. There's a short sword. Oh, we got this stuff here. So it's the world map. So displays the map of the old world. The party's locations are indicated in green. Doors and stairs are indicated in red. Other landmarks are indicated in other colors. There's the warp orb. An item which you can use to warp stones you've activated. Your party will start with a warp orb, but you won't be able to use it until you've activated at least one warp stone. There's the key ring. An item which holds all the unused keys you've collected. Using a key removes it from the key ring. Just because a key type matches a lock doesn't mean it will open it. You'll need to find the right key. And by the way, I got these things as well. So there's the scrolls to escape. So full action, scroll only spell. The ends combat and teleports the party to the last warp stone that was activated. It can't be cast if no warp stone has been activated or if you lost your warp orb. So you need a warp orb and you need a warp stone basically to use it. So good stuff. Alright, so I'll note that basically the idea is going to be for this guy to basically lead us because he's got the dark vision. So I'll have him start doing so. And we have a fence here. An empty chest makes sense. There's a desk. Now, I'm not sure, but I think in the web browser for the game, you can sometimes find stuff basically in your house. I'm not sure it really matters, but I mean, it's worth knowing that you can. Alright, we are out. I'm not being attacked right out the door, by the way, so that's nice. Okay, took a hit here. Where I got attacked by a bunch of orcs. So there's the orcs. We've already seen their thing here. Now, here's something actually note to the developer. It might be an idea if basically you have these info blurbs here. Instead of having a hide info button basically down here, perhaps there could be an option for more information. You could have maybe a more information button down here as well. Basically, something I want to know about these enemies basically fighting is what sort of attributes do they basically have? Not so much the stats, but what does an orc basically get? Honestly, the orcs, I guess, the enemies here are probably the same as your orc, but it'd be nice to actually do a quick time look at it and see what strength stat to basically get, what constitution to get. They get the rage bonus of 6. Do they get their power attack bonus, basically stuff like that? They aren't stealthy. Basically display all this information perhaps in a sort of next information thing, so you guys learn about them. That becomes really important for say the ends, for example. So for the ends maybe they you have a advantage in flurry, so they They flurry you more if they want to. Alright, so these guys here, they saw me, of course. You're right here. So let's do a trip. And of course, I missed my trip. So let's go up here. And I'm basically like, it's taking the high ground right now, so they can't. Let's go shoot. Bad shot, but oh well. Go here. The half orc won't be able to really do anything this turn, so let's get over here. Say hi. Now, obviously, I could have stealthed there to basically avoid being hit, but whatever. Let's have you go here for now, and we'll just shoot him. Oh, there's a nice hit. Okay, I took a hit there, but oh well, this is how it's gonna go. Let's just flurry this guy down. So 1, 2. I didn't even need to flurry him, but I want to kill him anyway, so it's fine. Let's get over here, view. Is this 2 orcs? That's not too bad to fight right now. So trip. Okay, he's prone. Let's do this, and I'm just gonna move over here. We'll step on his orc and let's go power strike him. We're not done yet, so we're not out of the woods yet, so there's more guys to fight. Yep, over there is the guy, so it kind of feels like a waste to use a bolt spell on him, so let's just get hit by him, I guess. Let's go over here, view. Now, I learned by way of spot, by the way. Your spot is a skill for your characters. Like I have 2 spot on this guy. It actually determines if you can actually see the HP of the enemies. So if you have high spot, you can see the enemies health bar, which is nice. Okay, let's go rapid shots. It could have been better, but oh well. All right, now this guy would probably be good, good doing charge. So let's try charge right here. That sort of sucked, but well. I could try and charge this guy, but that'd be just foolish. So let's just go snipe him. And now they're dead. All right, so let's take all this stuff right here because we just don't have any equipment to begin with anyway. So there we go. Now I got some equipment. I could actually just flurry with the half elf, but I can also use a shield as well. And yeah, by the way, I can also give this guy the bow because the half orc can use a bow if he wants. He's not very good at it. These are not very good for flurrying with, but they're good for hitting with, I guess. You can equip that in the offhand if you want, but whatever. Let's see here. Let's move this to this guy. So now he's got a little bit of extra defense. And we can move this over to you. We'll equip the leather armor, so now he's got a little bit more armor on him. I will note that these are terrible for flurry, but it doesn't mean they're terrible just for hitting stuff, so I'm not against using them. But I'm gonna just drop them, I think, so let's move on. Now, I'm just going to do this really quickly right with this guy here, but, you know, we'll sneak with him a little bit. The thing about the Lynx is that he can actually sort of see in the dark a little bit, so I want to try and show off, like, you know, his infravision a little bit here. Of course, that's only if there's, like, you know, stuff to actually show it off on, but, you know. There's nothing here, so never mind. Let's go elsewhere. So we kill a few orcs there. Okay, interesting stuff here, but I can't get to it just yet. You know, I wonder if we can actually use Portal to, like, you know, try to, like, you know, get through stuff. Like that. The sun is set, apparently. Well, it's cool that we found a staircase, but I'm looking for enemies right now. There's a fireplace up there, but whatever. Well, I accidentally walked over here. I'm not lacking for places to go, at least. You know, I'm wondering if there's actually some place over here to go, so... Oh, yep. There's an Ettin right there. That guy might be very dead now, but, oh well. You know, it'd be nice if I could, like, you know, sort of, like, you know, sneak out there and, like, sort of hide and not be, like, seen. But I think they can probably, like, you know, chase after him really, really fast. And see him, too. Well, this might be a very quick run, but oh well. Let's go over here. Yeah, it'd be nice if you could actually sort of, like, you know, hide a little bit easier. And basically run away from stuff, however. It's not going to be fun. We're going to try and run for the angry Ettins by, like, diving into a staircase pretty much, so... Do. Okay, he can't go downstairs? Yes, he can. No, he can't. That's kind of annoying. I kind of like the idea of, like, you know, be able to go up and down stairs if you need to. Oh, well. You're not very good blocking, but you just go right here and block. I forgot to give this guy a weapon, by the way, but oh well. I never actually did this, by the way, but Ettins. So don't let any flurry you. Even a great hero can be totally squashed by an angry Ettins, so hit and run attacks are essential. But yeah, it'd be nice to actually have say if think about the ends, what makes their flurry so devastating? Is it just a plus modifier to it, or do you get a partial action for it? I don't think they're partial action, but you get the idea. Okay, just got made all right here. There's the angry Ettin, so and here's what sucks, but can't really do anything about it, but whatever. Yeah, it's like the angry flurry. My guy dies. Actually, can I go down the stairs if all the guys are here? No. So that'd be something that I think it would make a little bit of sense. If you want to run away, you can. Because honestly, there's no way I'm gonna be able to take down a group of angry Ettins here. So let's just let them kill me. Just so you can see their equipment and stuff. Well, they use trip attacks apparently. The other one's dead. Yeah, angry Ettins. Honestly, not the greatest thing to basically fight against. So that's to be something to note, by the way. These guys have a very high spot check, so not really sure what to say about that, but whatever. Basically, all these guys are huge, hugely powerful fighters with 67 HP each. I'm guessing these guys probably don't get much of an action in flurry, but it's more so that they're basically just they like to use a flurry action. All right, well, I guess we'll actually have our real sort of start basically in the next episode, but you get the idea. Kind of annoying I had these ends basically pop out like that, but oh well. All right, well, take care for this one.